Welcome to one of my longer videos. So whenever I have a long video like this that, goes over rambling and reviewing and stuff, I'll have a lot of these videos up, sooner or later. I'll put timestamps like this at the beginning of the video, so select where you want to go, what part you want to hear first or whatever, and off you go. So I just thought I'd throw that in there for you guys. So here it is. This is my Wii U setup, and when I told you it was sitting on top of like some 70s speaker, well, I wasn't kidding. It's literally sitting on top of some 70s speaker that I pulled from Goodwill a couple of years back. But that's not the point. The point is, well, the aesthetics of the console, and it looks very nice. I really like the design of the console. It's a nice looking thing. Even though it's been out for a couple of years, I still prefer this design over the design of the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. I know there's going to be fucking fanboys sending me hate mail and death threats, but I really don't give a shit, so don't even bother. But yeah, I really do like the design of the console. It's nice and sort of posh looking. It's pretty nice. Up here you have your, not where my finger is, you have your SD card and USB slots and stuff like that. That's the sync button for when you want to sync a controller. There's your power button with the blue LED when it's on, orange LED when it's doing online functions but on standby, and when on full standby it's red. The light next to it over here by the disc, sort of the disc light is just flat up white, and there's the eject button. The feel of the console overall, it's a nice sturdy build. It's not cheaply made, obviously, neither is the gamepad. The gamepad is actually very nice, and I'm going to have a whole segment on that a little bit later. But yeah, it's a very nice feeling console. They give you all the cables you need to hook it up, obviously. They even give you the HDMI cable, which I never, I expected it, but I mean, in like sort of subconsciously you don't expect it, because it's sort of like no one ever gives you an HDMI cable because they always think you have one, and sometimes you don't. So it's nice knowing that they, didn't cheap out on, video stuff like that. They give you the fucking HDMI cable, which I really appreciate. Let me get the gamepad up there like that again. So with the gamepad, it's a very nice feeling unit. I mean, it fits well in my hand. Like I said, there's a whole different segment about that coming up. My general thoughts on the console are, it's a great console. It obviously needs more support and, blah blah blah. I mean, you all know the story. If you're watching this video, you're obviously not, a casual, so you obviously know something about what's going on with the Wii U, especially if you watched some of my earlier videos. So yeah, really nice console. I really like the design. Really like the shininess of it, and I actually haven't touched it. I have not touched it with my fingers at all. The only time I have is when I took it out of the box. That's the only time I legit touched it with my fingers, and then I polished it. Because I really like keeping my consoles and stuff clean as I can possibly keep them, like looking as nice and new as they can. So I have not touched this thing at all with my hands, like at all. I refuse to. Because I don't want to have to clean it off, because I'm really weird with that sort of thing. I like it to be just perfect and clean and nice. So I haven't touched it. The only reason and when I because I have long fingernails most of the time, in case you haven't noticed that, and I actually do that for a reason. It's because I'm always opening shit, and I'm always, mashing crap with my fingers, and I can't do it with my fingers because they're too big or whatever, and it causes shit. So my fingernails, I grow my fingernails out just enough so that I can use them for opening shit and completing tasks. So I'm literally the person that people go to, that like my friends and family go to. Hey, can you open this? Yeah. Let me like crack open my fucking nails here and just there you go. So yeah, that's how I turn it on. Either that or I just use the gamepad. The gamepad, on the other hand, is a fucking fingerprint mess right now, which I don't really care about because it's a controller. But the console itself I keep in absolutely pristine condition, as I try to do with the rest of my consoles. So there you have that. I'm pretty sure you've all seen a gamepad before, so it actually feels very nice in my hand. I have no problem just sort of carrying around playing with it. I'm just gonna demonstrate some of the functionality, because a lot of people don't seem to cover this, at least from what I've seen. Because I haven't really, admittedly, I haven't really actively searched for it because I don't really care to do so. But here you go. This is the functionality of the switching screen. So what's on my screen right now will now switch to the gamepad when I press X, and that's what's on my that's what was on my TV screen. And this is basically just sort of a Miiverse type thing going on. You have a bunch of Miis just sort of hanging out and talking about shit. I don't know. So there's that. And I'm actually going to demonstrate by, actually, I don't even know if I should because fucking Nintendo's unbelievably insane, like, content creation bullshit. But I would demonstrate for you the capabilities of the whole dual screen thing because I could actually play Super Mario Maker on the gamepad and the gamepad alone. But I'm afraid Nintendo will come or, give me a bullshit copyright strike, which they really need to stop fucking doing to people. But I digress. But yeah, it does legitimately play the game on the gamepad. And you can literally turn off your TV if you want to play Super Mario Maker on just your gamepad. Not all games support this kind of functionality, obviously. Mostly it's, first-party Nintendo IP shit, and that's your lot. But I don't know of many other games anyways, so I wouldn't necessarily be able to tell you what does and what does not support it. But the gamepad overall, it's got a nice build quality. I mean, it's Nintendo's sort of build quality. I mean, they never really cheap out on their stuff. So, really nice. The buttons feel great on here. Although I wouldn't say these buttons are wonderful for games like Smash. Smash, you sort of want that really quick, sort of clicky sort of thing, and this feels just a bit mushy for that. But you'll get by. I don't know, I was trying to open up. I think it's just trying to open up SoundCloud. Okay. Let me go back to the Wii menu. So, yeah, these could be better for certain games, but they'll do you fine. So, whatever. They work just fine. The D-pad is great. It's just sort of normal Nintendo D-pad. The analog sticks are actually wonderful. I really like the analog sticks. They're very nice. They're very fluid. They're, like I said, it's a very nice feeling ergonomic controller. So you got these little, notches and stuff like this right here. You've got these little bumps right here. And yes, the gamepad does have vibrations. So there are most likely vibration motors here and here. This right here is where the battery is contained. Yes, you can open this. Yes, you can replace it. And I do suggest you replace this with the high capacity one if you're going to play this console a lot, because the battery life on this gamepad is pretty fucking bad, at least from what I've heard. I've actually gotten some pretty decent battery life out of it, but it has died on me once. So, that's happened before. You can just plug it in. You don't have to use the charging cradle. You can plug it in from the top little port right there. So, yeah, I do suggest getting the high capacity battery for this, which lasts about 8 or so hours as compared to like, 3. So I would definitely suggest getting the high capacity thing. So in the hand, this feels great. The gamepad feels fine. It's a nice controller. That's all there is to it. It's a nice thing, and it's a controller with a screen on it. I mean, that's all there really is to it. Triggers are nice and responsive. They feel pretty good, although they're not like the triggers you have on the PS4 and Xbox One. They are clicky. So, there's that. But they are still very nice triggers. I don't have any complaints, really, with them. The resistive touchscreen is very nice. It's, one of Nintendo's typical makes, like the one you find on the 3DS. It's very responsive. I don't really have any problems using it. It's sort of like... the thing with resistive touchscreens like this is that they're very accurate. They're more accurate than the touchscreens you have on your phones and stuff like that. And the reason that is because you're using the stylus, which has a fine point, and there's a little film over the touch-sensitive layer that it touches down on the touch-sensitive layer, and it's far more precise than jabbing your finger on a capacitive touchscreen. And these are far better calibrated than capacitive touchscreens on phones and tablets and such. So it's very good for drawing, as you can tell by some of the great artwork that they have on here, if I can find anyone drawing some stuff on here. But the artwork standard on here is fantastic. It doesn't look like there's anyone anything popping up yet. So, it's a really nice thing. I really like it, and I'll probably ramble about it a little bit more towards the end of the video. So, there you have it. That's the gamepad. Let me get on to my some of my concerns and some outlook for the Wii U here. And if there's something I've realized, it's that the Wii U really suffers from what I like to call Dreamcast syndrome, and that's it, it has all these fucking fantastic games on it that you can only get on this console, but no one fucking knows about it. Like no one knows about it, and no one cares because they don't know about it because it's not marketed well enough. And yeah, that's kind of a problem. Because just like because Wii U right now is somewhat in the same state that Dreamcast was in, what, like 16, 17 years ago. And while Nintendo isn't gonna, like, drop Wii U because, the situation with Dreamcast is that it ran out of money, whereas Wii U just doesn't have the support. I think that, I really do think that it's sort of in the same area, sort of the same ballpark where Dreamcast was in, because yeah, I mean it's sold like 10.5 something million units. Dreamcast sold about 10 point something million units, I think. And they're sort of in that same area. They have that same situation going on where no one knows about it, or no one knows just how good it is because it's not marketed well enough. And the people that do know how good it is don't have enough of an influence to get people to go out and buy it. And that's sort of what happened with Dreamcast. I mean, that's what I see happen with Dreamcast, other than it just ran out of money and failed because of what Bernie Stolar said with, the Saturn. But it's really disappointing because even playing this console for, a couple days, I already really love this console. It's fantastic. It's got, the gamepad is fucking great. I love using this thing. And I'm one of the people that like uses it to its full functionality. I mean, I use the TV feature. I use, YouTube on it. I use it when my TV's turned off, when I'm laying in bed and I just want to play a game. I use it for all of that stuff. And I know not everyone's like that, but I do use it like that. Like, for instance, if I want to, boot up Mario Maker, but I don't want to turn on my TV, I just turn on the gamepad and just select Mario Maker. And I know not all games support this that well, obviously, but obviously first party Nintendo titles do, and first party Nintendo titles are the only reason that anyone would ever want to buy a Wii U, because there aren't any, you know, there aren't that many third party, titles that you know, can just get on the other consoles. So that you can't get on the other consoles. I mean, so I don't know. When it comes to the gamepad, I really like it. I know that there's been a lot of talk that they should have axed it and sort of made it an accessory that you could buy separately, but even from the very beginning, I saw that this was an integral part of the console, so I don't necessarily agree with that, but I do see how it makes sense that it would, decrease the price of the console and make it more competitive. But I do think that the gamepad is an integral part in the experience, and while you can use the Pro Controller and other controllers for it, I'm one of the people that use it. So this may be biased, I don't know, but I'm just one of the people that happens to use it for what it's meant, for its full functionality. I use it for everything it does. So I might be the exception. I don't know, because I don't know any other people with a Wii U, to be honest with you. So, you know, um, but onto that TV function though. That thing is fantastic. I love that. I fucking love that. So I'm gonna press this on here right now. And what it does is it brings up like a whole, like a TV remote. Like I mentioned in my last video, is like having one of those extremely expensive smart remotes that are like ridiculously overpriced. So with this, you can hook it up to your cable box and you can hook it up to your TV and control both. And I really fucking love that, because if I want to play my Wii U or any other console for that matter, and I have my controllers next to me, but I don't want to walk across the room to turn everything on, I can use the Wii U gamepad to just turn on my TV, switch input channels, bam, I'm in. No problem. So, I fucking love that. I fucking love that to death. Um, Another thing about the the Wii U, I mean, is that it supports, it's fully backwards compatible with all your Wii games. So, and one thing I realized is that it actually does pretty well. I don't know if it's emulation or if it has some sort of. I don't think it has Wii hardware in it, but I think it's some sort of emulation engine. But regardless, it works very well, and it. From what I can remember, at least from using the original Wii, the control for me wasn't too shit, but it was pretty bad. Because I don't think I played any games back then that were really, really super mega reliant on like being very specific. So, but I don't know, but the integration with the Wii remotes on Wii U, on the the original Wii menu on the Wii U, it actually works a lot better than it does on the original Wii, which kind of confuses me a little bit because I thought it would just be the same, but it actually works a lot better than it did on the original Wii. So I guess if you want to play your Wii games, the Wii is sort of the Wii U is the ultimate way to go. So there you go. I mean, I literally have only one Wii game from like after that robbery happened, and that's Wii Play, which is basically just like some art. It's like sort of like an arcade style thing. You've got things like Duck Hunt, you've got like table tennis and stuff in there. So it's just sort of like a basic, it's almost tech demo-y, almost Wii Sports sort of thing. So yeah, that's that. That's the Wii functionality for you. Um, Other stuff. Let's see. Other stuff. The console aesthetic itself, and I know everyone pretty much knows what the Wii U looks like. I mean, it's a black plastic thing. I actually really like it. It looks really nice sitting around, all of my blacks, other stuff like my TV, my entertainment center, and stuff like that. It looks nice. Although, to be honest with you, it's sitting on top of like a 70s ass, like, old speaker. So, but yeah, it's a nice looking console. It looks nice, just sitting around. So does the gamepad on its stand. I just have it sitting on my desk. So yeah, as for the games, and I know people are gonna ask me, oh yeah, hey, how are the games? I don't really know too much about how the games are to me yet, but I do know that it has an awesome library that's been heavily regarded by other people, or highly regarded by other people. Sorry, and I'm really looking into getting into that. And but like I said, the first game I'm gonna buy for this is Smash 4 for Wii U, obviously. So why the hell wouldn't I buy Smash? I mean, I have it on 3DS, and yeah. Another thing with controlling the Wii U is that you can use your 3DS in Smash 4 to. You can use it as a controller, I think. Let me just. I can actually check on this right now. I have it on me. It looks like you can, yes. So look, it looks like you can actually use the 3DS as a controller to control your character on, or control whoever you're maining on Wii U. So that's fucking cool. Because I'm accustomed to using the Smash controls on 3DS because they're fantastic. I love the circle pad to death. It's fantastic for Smash. So, I'm probably going to use that for Smash because that's what I'm mostly accustomed to. So I'm one of those people that mashes up on the circle pad to jump, and a lot of people say that that's like impossible for them to do, but I'm just one of the people that it's like second nature. But whatever. Now into the more stuff that most people don't cover in these videos. It's sort of the stuff that weird people like me want to know. So things like, oh, what color are the fucking lights on it, and what is it, what happens when you get a notification, and what does the interface look like, and everything, because not a lot of people go into this. And that's one thing I've noticed, is that not a lot of people really go into what the console is actually like when you turn it on and you're using it and stuff. So they just sort of talk about it like as an afterthought. So the interface is very nice. It's very, if on the gamepad, you have two screens basically, which is obviously the gamepad and your TV. And so with the gamepad, you have sort of what it looks like default, if you don't switch screens, which you can do. Default on the gamepad, you usually get sort of a 3DS kind of vibe going on. It sort of has all the stuff that you would have on your 3DS main menu. So your games and all your apps. You've got your friends list, you got Miiverse, you got the eShop, you got Internet Browser, you have notifications, and then I think you have something like, what is that, system updates? Download management. So it's download management, which you don't happen to have on 3DS, at least I don't think you do. And if you switch screens, it basically just shows you what's on your TV screen, only it switches what's on your TV screen with the gamepad screen. So you can just do that when you're on the main menu, and then you can just sort of look around at all the Miis that are like raving on the floor of, the big, room that they're in. You just got a fucking notification. Alright, so, the other bits and bobs of the console, the sensor bar that I noticed is sort of, it's a different black color now, so that's sort of cool. The actual cables are gray and stuff like that, but this is stuff you probably already know. How does the gamepad feel in the hand? Let me just sort of pick it up here. It feels fantastic, actually. I really like it. The only complaint that I think I would have with it is the L and R bumpers. They're a bit unnatural to hit sometimes when you're playing games, so it sort of feels weird, but you kind of get used to it and you sort of become accustomed to it. But I'm the kind of person that likes to have my pointer finger on the triggers and not on the bumpers, and then have my middle fingers on the triggers. I don't like that. I always have to have my pointer fingers on the triggers. That's just how I am, because it just feels more natural to me. But it is possible to do, how it's supposed to be with your pointer fingers on the bumpers and your middle fingers on the triggers. At least I presume that's how it's supposed to be held. But that's just, that's just, how I do it. But it does feel very nice. And a lot of people think that, oh, look at that thing. It's like a big piece of fucking shit. It's not. It's fantastic. It's actually a great thing, and it's not that hard to hold. You think it would be like, big and cumbersome and annoying, but it's really not. It's actually very nice to hold. I really do sort of... I like the feel of it. It's a nice big tablet and I'm a tablet person, so I know, again, this might be personal bias, but I really do like this thing. I think it's great. I love it. I am probably going to primarily use that, and I'll probably buy a Pro controller for when I have to go like really try hard mode and I just want a little controller. But battery life, not too great. You usually get like 3 or 4 hours out of it, but there is, if you go on Nintendo's online store or whatever it is, you can actually buy a high capacity Wii U gamepad battery, and you can buy it straight from Nintendo. They do have them in stock as I upload this video. And they'll usually last about 8 hours, and, give or take 8 hours. So it'll last a lot longer than the stock battery. So that's kind of nice. I wish they would just outfit them with the nice batteries right away. I mean, it's not like they market the high capacity batteries at all, so I mean, it's not like a lot of people are going to know about it and go buy them off the shelves because they're not even available on shelves. So whatever. Amiibo integration. Amiibo integration is fine. I mean, it's just what you would expect. It's an NFC tag reader, that's all it is. It's just that little corner on the gamepad. You just put your Amiibo down and it works right away. It's really fast and responsive and all of that. So there you go. Let's see, some other stuff. The sound on the gamepad is actually pretty good. I mean, you're not going to expect to get like home theater sound out of it, but there's this thing, I think it's called 3D sound, and it actually sounds really nice. There's actually a pretty decent soundstage to it. You can actually, it's almost like a couple of little surround sound things going on. It's pretty good, just like how it is on the 3DS. If you have a 3DS, then you know what I'm talking about, hopefully. It actually has pretty decent surround sound. How it does that, I don't know. I'm no sound engineer, but it sounds great. It's obviously no match for like if you have it hooked up to like a home theater system or something, or you have your console hooked up to a home theater system, but it's a nice little set of speakers. You're not gonna, be playing crap ton of music out of them, obviously. I mean, you can't even do that really, but for what it is, it's pretty damn good. I don't really have any complaints, so, there's that. The webcam on it it's a webcam. You don't really need to use it for much, so it's pretty decent for what it is, unless you're using WeChat a lot, and it's still pretty fine, so I mean, I don't really have any complaints. It does get the whole, face recognition thing for when you're making a Mii, although I don't really use that. I make it myself, but it does alright, so. that's the Gamepad. Really nice thing. I really like it. Maybe a little bit expensive to produce, but I think it's at this point it's no, it's a bit too late to start axing it now. So whatever. Um, so this has just sort of been like a little kind of semi review of the Wii U. So I mean, if you want to hear more about it, just drop it in the comments, and I'll just do whatever I can to accommodate you. So whatever. I just thought I just wanted to talk about it after having it for a couple of days, and I thought I would just drop it on YouTube. So hope you enjoyed it.
I just fucking played the Bayonetta 2 demo for the first time, and I'm probably gonna be feeling the aftershock of that one for a couple of weeks. Holy fucking shit. Oh my god. What the is this what I've been fucking missing out on? Is this is what I've been missing out on all this time? Oh, holy fuck. That is unbelievable. I'm just gonna say this right away. If you don't have Bayonetta 2 or Bayonetta 1, fucking buy it now. Now, go. Now, buy. See ya. Go. Buy. Leave. Buy it now. Go. Do it. Holy fucking shit. And I just played the demo. I didn't even get the full game experience. Oh my fucking god. I have not played a game. I have not had that much fun in years. I shit you not. I have not had that much fun in fucking years. That is unbelievable. Oh, holy fuck. I'm not going to spoil too much if because in case no one's played it, but that has to be one of the best games I've ever laid my fucking hands on. Oh, fuck. All right, well, I'm probably going to go buy 20 copies to support the developer of that shit because they deserve every cent. Oh my fucking god. Yeah, go buy it. Go buy it. There's my little abridged review of Bayonetta 2.